In April, I read some pretty incisive social commentary, a devastating novel, and also a pretty emotional biography of one of my spiritual heroes. Here are 5 books I read in the past month in about 5 minutes. Enjoy. Welcome to Books and Big Ideas, what I'm reading, what I'm thinking about, with Joel Wentz. All right, I'm going to try to cover 5 books in 5 minutes. So these are just some books that I read in April. Not all the books are in April, but ones that I wanted to highlight. And the first one is a fascinating nonfiction book called The Secret Life of Groceries by Benjamin Lohr. This is basically investigative reporting focused on the grocery industry, and he essentially studies what exactly it takes for us to have such cheap groceries on hand pretty much at any given time that we want in America. It's kind of a crazy miracle if you actually think about that reality, and he uncovers what it takes to make that happen. And it's fairly dark. It's fairly dark in some places, but it's also, one thing I liked about this book is it's not like overly moralistic. I mean, he points out things that are dark, but he also recognizes it's kind of a good thing that people have food. Access to so much inexpensive food. But it explores trucking and delivery and even cleaning, the history of the grocery industry. It's a very fascinating exploration of that topic. So I loved the chapter on Trader Joe's in particular. So if that sounds of interest to you, you might want to snag that. The second book I want to feature is called Hamnet by Maggie O'Farrell. This hardly needs really any praise for me. It's all over awards lists and best of lists from last year, 2020. But I will say I'm not deep into Shakespeare. I don't really read a lot of Shakespeare. I'm not even very familiar with Hamlet. Dare I say? I feel like a little embarrassing admitting that. But man, this novel gutted me. It's not even really about Shakespeare in particular. It's more just an historical fiction novel, and it's really a meditation on grief and loss. And it absolutely wrecked me. It's beautifully written, incredibly emotionally gripping. I think that almost anyone who appreciates fiction couldn't read this and would appreciate it, and I would highly recommend Hamnet for that. Third book, I have a copy of it right here in front of me. This is A Burning in My Bones. It just came out by Wynne Collier. It's a biography of one of my spiritual heroes, really, Eugene Peterson, the pastor. I've read quite a bit of Peterson's work, including his own memoir, so I wasn't sure if I would really get anything new out of this book per se, and I'm happy to say it is amazing. It's an amazing biography. I got misty-eyed at multiple points. It's very emotional. It's very respectful to Peterson, but also doesn't shy away from some of the harder things about his life. But it does it in a way that, again, is very respectful and very nuanced. But all the while kind of does put forward a very compelling just vision of who this man was and what made him the person that he was, and so compelling to so many people. So that's A Burning in My Bones by Wynne Collier. If you at all appreciate Eugene Peterson, if you've been a fan of his writing over the years or his ministry work, you absolutely have to read this biography. The fourth book is by Ayad Akhtar, which is called Homeland Elegies. This is a fascinating book that's kind of defies categorization. It's categorized as a novel, but I honestly put this book down and I thought, I don't know what was fiction or nonfiction about this. Part of it felt like a memoir, felt like a family journal, but it was apparently fiction, or at least parts of it were fiction, but it's also a really, really provocative exploration of what it means to be a Muslim American, and what it means to kind of exist in different worlds and not really feel like you totally belong in any, but also to appreciate what America offers and kind of the promise of America, but to recognize that it doesn't really hold out the fruits of that promise to everybody equally. It's just a very beautifully written, emotionally gripping, a lot of emotionally gripping books this month, emotionally gripping exploration of all those ideas. And I put it down and I thought, I don't know how to categorize this book, but I almost don't care because I just thought it was such a powerful reading experience. So that's Homeland Elegies. And then finally, I have this one in front of me too. I've been slowly working through a lot of Thomas Sowell's work, and this is one of his later books. He wrote later in his writing career, Black Rednecks and White Liberals. It's really a collection of 6 pretty long essays Lots of history, lots of academic research, but it's written very accessibly, very plainly. I mean, he's clearly a brilliant academic, but he doesn't write at all in an accessible way, which is something I really appreciate. But it's six essays related to different topics, mostly about history and connected to race in some way. I think the essay, The Real History of Slavery, should basically be mandatory reading. I thought it was very excellent and very challenging. But my favorite essay was actually called History versus Visions, in which doing the work of history versus kind of ideological visions that people put forward to try to make history work for those visions. It's a great essay, my favorite of the book. I love the book overall. I really like Thomas Sowell. Everything I read by him I've really liked, and this is possibly my favorite thing by him that I've read yet. So there you go. That's 5 books in 5 minutes. Hope you found something that might be of interest to you. Thanks for watching.